pressuring me to call you when you're turning me on. The way you telling me you wanted me down. Done it, I done this before you falling. I won't catch you, don't know I'm stalling. Cause you love to have them all crying. Calling me sweet, telling me you need me. But I'm from a city that's high school. I give them this and the more I go. When I go with confidence, when I go to the road, I hips and take a sip on it, take a trip on it. When I go, you can go slow. Wind it up all night.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Kayla, and I'm the person behind the camera. So I'm walking up to a grassy green area for my video today. I'm actually really excited for this video because it's something like near and dear to my heart and something I can really relate to. Okay, but why are these bells like going off? Like, bro, disrespectful. But anyways, I will see you guys when I get there. Talk soon.
I give them this and the more I go. Cause you a bad money, she don't love money. She break across real fast like conman. Wanna swim down to the deep end. Wanna know all my secrets, honestly. Can you keep it real, cause honestly.
Right, guys, so I've made it to my spot. The lighting is a little bit depressing today. It's gloomy outside, but it is nice and windy, so hopefully you guys can hear me. But today, I wanted to talk to you guys about, y'all, excuse me, we're being gender neutral here. I wanted to talk to you guys about being a relationship virgin and like being someone who's never been romantically involved in a relationship, and basically like how kind of like it feels, and I guess maneuvering through like societal pressures of like getting into a relationship, you know what I mean? So first and foremost, I would say that as someone who is the queen of relationship virginity, when I was younger, I saw a couple of my friends get in relationships, and at first it didn't really bother me, but then I started to question, like, is there something wrong with me? And I remember like vividly asking my mom when I was like probably like sophomore or junior year of high school, like, hey mom, is there something wrong with me? And she was like, absolutely not, it's their loss, like there's nothing wrong with you. And I remember like for a long time, like I'm from Arizona, so it's predominantly white. I had a few friends of color, but overall it's a very white state. Sorry, I keep looking over there because there's a freaking mob of geese, and I swear to God if they attack me, I'm literally just running. But anyways, yeah, so I remember like asking my mom, is there something wrong with me? And she was like, no, there's not. And I remember like being super like uncomfortable in my skin, and like being a darker complected girl predominantly in a white area where like white girls were idolized. I just like grew super uncomfortable with the idea of like being in a relationship because a lot of the young boys that I went to school with like were obsessed with white girls. So I kind of just like blocked that idea like completely out of my mind, like overall. And I've gotten like really comfortable like being by myself, but I do think like obviously one day I do want to find the love of my life and my partner and someone to share life with. But I think like society makes it seem like, insert jogger here, society makes it seem like you need to be in a relationship, and I'm here to tell you guys that I personally, as someone who is in her early 20s, who moved literally like halfway across the country just to go to college, I think like your early 20s and being in a relationship virgin isn't necessarily a bad thing. I believe that there's so many beautiful things that can come out of it. for example, like exploring who you are, what you like about yourself, what you like about others, what you like about your friends, what you enjoy about life. And when you don't have attachments to anyone, you could literally like do what you want. And I think, like, of course you shouldn't shut out like the potential of like meeting someone and you guys initially click all the way, but I do think it's important to find out who you are as an individual before bringing someone into your life. And then you're not an individual, so you're literally codependent on this person to satisfy you. And I personally would never want to live like that. I want to be a whole before two unions become one, kind of thing. So yeah, that's my first step, is explore who you are, who you want to be, what you're working towards, what you like about your friends, what you love about life, and what you want out of life. And then two, I think being by yourself isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think, like, of course, like when you're seeing people get in relationships, or like more and more of your friends are getting in relationships, and like this whole dating app era is being like monetized kind of thing, it's very easy to be like, damn, I'm lonely, like I want someone too. But I think I'm a firm believer in like everything happens for a reason, you know? So everything happening for a reason means that this chapter of your life is meant for you to enjoy being by yourself, enjoy the selfish era of your life kind of thing. So when you do get into a relationship, you don't feel like, oh, I've missed out on anything, which honestly most times leads to like cheating or jealousy and like all this doing too much. Like, I'm too cute to be dating someone who does too much like that. But anyways, yeah, that would be my second step, is to just like kind of embrace your singleness and not necessarily like see it as a bad thing, because it's very easy to feel like desperate or like you're never gonna find love, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that. Okay, I'm back. And I would also say, like, as you are becoming the best version of yourself, I do think it's important for this chapter to like whip yourself into shape, meaning like figuring out what tendencies that you have that you see in yourself but your friends have also seen in you that you wouldn't want to carry on into a relationship with your future partner. Because there's some things that I do that I'm like, ooh, babes, like anybody gonna want to date you if you act like that, you know what I mean? But I do think that's also an important part of just like being by yourself and being reflective and becoming like the best individual possible before you do get with someone. Because I don't know about y'all, but when I do eventually get out there, I'm just like, I've never really been into like hookup culture or like one night stand, you know what I mean, like that whole shebang. Like, shout out to my sisters who could do it and got it like that, you know what I mean, but I don't got it like that, babes. I don't got that kind of heart. Hold on. Caffeine break. Needed her. So yeah, I just really think it's important to like figure out the tendencies that you carry and like the great things about yourself and the things that you want to improve and work on before you bring another person into this chapter of your life. Also, I would add, it's okay if you don't want to go on dating apps. Like, I've had this discussion with like numerous people, like people from my school, some of my friends, like even one of my supervisors at work. She's the queen. She literally has the best advice all the time. And I just like, I don't know, I just feel like dating apps are so inorganic. I don't know if I'm just like a hopeless romantic, but I'm hoping that one day like someone walks up to me and's like, hey, like, I think you're so beautiful, or I saw you across the room, like, I would love to take you out sometime. Or like, I had this I don't know, like vision in my head, or like this, like, I visioned that like I was gonna meet my like person in college. And fun fact, I'm a rising senior and that still hasn't happened. So for now, I will continue. Oh, there's a bug. For now, I will continue living my best life, you know what I mean, until someone is worthy of me giving them the time of day. Let me insert the clip of Lotto, and this is how I feel about everything.
When you value yourself, you can't just get this pimping away like that. The fuck? Ain't too many of y'all can handle me. And I know that. And you know that. These niggas know that. So when you carry yourself like a boss bitch, you gonna attract boss niggas.
Period. So yeah, I definitely think, like, stop telling your friends to go on dating apps. If they wanted to go on dating apps, they would have gone to dating apps. They would have already went to that solution. And, like, for some people like me, I want to meet someone organically and, like, find my person, like, through face-to-face contact. Like, obviously some people have, like, shout out to them who found their person on dating apps. But, like, for me, like, 4 pictures and, like, some little, like, quotes about yourself, but that's not cutting it for me, you know what I mean? I guess it's kind of like the same thing as Instagram. I don't know, I still see it kind of different. Maybe one day I will join that bandwagon, but for now, if you want to take me on a date, just say that. Like, if you want to take me on a date, like, ask me, you know what I mean? Like, period. Like, so yeah, for now, dating apps aren't it, but in the meantime, continue being your best selves. Continuing on, I just feel like when you're in that chapter of your life of just singleness and, like, maneuvering to find out who you are, it is, like, as I previously mentioned, easy to get desperate. But honestly, you just have to stay grounded in who you are. And I'm a firm believer that what's meant for you will find you, and before you know it, someone will find you and you will be able to share. Sorry, these geese literally terrified the frick out of me. You will be able to find that person and you will be able to create something amazing, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, you just have to continue being your best bad bitch self, period. And don't lower your standards for anybody. And I think, like, some people, like, I get this all the time, they're like, your standards are a little high. It's just like, okay, they might be a little high compared to your standards, but I'm not letting up for anybody. If you can't cut it, babes, you just can't cut it, you know what I mean? But in the meantime, continue being your best self, continue growing into a person that you love, a person that you value. And if you value yourself, the person that will find you will also value you. And that's also super important to me. Like, we ain't doing this toxic culture, you know what I mean? Like, that's not cute. I don't know why people, la toxica, all that BS, like, that's not cute, you know what I mean? But anyways, continue working on yourself, continue figuring out what you want to bring into your relationship, what you don't want. I'm not saying that you shouldn't date. I mean, I'm like the last person who should give dating advice, but I'm not saying you shouldn't date. I also do firmly believe that, like, you should go out on dates to see what you want in a person, what you don't want in a person. But, like, for me, like, I want it the natural way. Like, I want someone to, like, shoot their shot and then be like, I would love to take you out on a date this day, you know what I mean? Like, don't be like, yo, I want to see you. Like, one time I got approached by this guy at the gym. He was like, hey, you got Instagram? And I'm like, the disrespect, like, that is mad disrespectful, approaching a young woman like that. That's not cute. Yeah, so if you're gonna approach somebody, come correct. But anyways, I just, like, I don't know if I'm a hopeless romantic, but I am a believer that, like, and I want someone to, like, approach me, like, in person, you know what I mean? But to be determined if that will ever happen for me. I'm not saying that I'll never go on a dating app, but for now, that's just, like, not my ish. But yeah, that's just, like, not my ish for now. But, you know, I'm working on being a never say never kind of girl. My sister always says that. She's like, well, you can never say never because you never know what's gonna happen. And I'm like, that is very true. So, as I continue to mold myself into shape, whip myself into shape, I will continue bringing my best, prettiest self, period. And what is meant for me was meant for me. What will find me is what will find me. Thank you guys so much for watching for this long. Me just freaking excuse me, me just literally rambling, there we go, rambling on about a topic that I'm like, I feel like I've experienced. I'm about to be 22 years old and never been in a relationship, so I have experienced a lot of being by myself, and also I'm very content with being by myself, you know what I mean? It is a good and a bad thing, you know what I mean? But one thing I would say is never be codependent on a person, because once you're codependent on a person, that's when it's just gonna turn into shambles. But if y'all got a friend to set me up with, hit me up in the comments, you know what I mean? My Instagram is KaylaReynoso12. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate the love I've already gotten. I hope you guys have a beautiful 4th of July if you choose to celebrate that, and I hope you guys have an amazing start to your week. Talk to you soon.
Can you keep it real? 'Cause honestly I can tell that you're real fun.